in conversation. Today we have with us Captain Inderveer Solanki, a very well-known name in the shipping fraternity. Captain Inderveer Solanki, a master mariner with a post-graduation degree in Maritime Affairs from World Maritime University, Malmo, Sweden. He is presently pursuing a Ph.D. from IMU Chennai. He has assisted state governments, Inland Waterway Authority of India, Government of India in drafting rules, regulations, and policies for the inland water transport sector. He is an expert on this subject. Welcome to our show, sir.
Thank you. Thank you to Shipping Tribune to give me this opportunity for speaking on a sector which is very close to my heart. Thank you once again.
So, what are the initiatives that the government has taken to promote the inland water transport sector?
When we look at the sector itself, before you can say 2014, we had only 5 national waterways. So first thing what the government did was they declared additional waterways, that is 106 waterways were declared. So that means it makes total presently 111 waterways. So the 2016 waterways bill introduced these new waterways. With the advantage with this is that now the central government will be able to provide funds for the development of the waterway with the state government. So now, in addition to that, there is what is called as Sagar Mala project. Under the Sagar Mala project, the state governments can submit proposals for development of the waterways, jetties, for which 50% will be given by the central government and 50% has to be borne by the state government. So that is the second initiative which has been taken. The third initiative is the waterway transportation, including in you can say cities that there is a linkage of water. The schemes that was available for urban transportation was not available to the waterways. So the waterways has been included in the urban transportation project, regeneration project under the Amrit scheme. So again, you can say the projects which are being developed in the cities where there is waterway. So then the waterway development infrastructure, ferries, etc., can be taken up under the Amrit scheme. So that is another initiative. So other than this, there is a shipbuilding scheme. There is shipbuilding subsidy scheme under which the government initiated in 2016 20% shipbuilding subsidy for vessels built in India under the waterway for waterway transportation. Now for that, that is you can say the subsidy reduces over every 4 years. So presently it is 16%. So one can avail 16% subsidy on shipbuilding in India. So that is another initiative. Another one more initiative which is there with regards to GST is that there is no GST on inland water transportation. So that means if any goods that are being transported by inland waterways, so then there is no GST on that. And the scheme in the Northeast, where one would get subsidy for transportation in the Northeast, is also applicable to the water transport system. So these are the initiatives, the key initiatives that the government has taken with regards to development of the water transport system in the country.
So, what are the reasons for the slow growth of the inland water transport sector in spite of all the initiatives taken by the government and it being environmentally friendly?
See, when we look at the initiatives are to promote, you can say, entrepreneurs in the sector. But we have seen in Europe also that it's only just when you develop a waterway, the people or the shipper or the entrepreneurs will come on their own. So what is required is that one has to do hand holding. Now we know that the shippers are scared of water, or you can say water transportation itself is not a well-known transportation mode in amongst the shippers. So what is required is that hand-holding has to be done by a professional, like members of CMMI can participate in that, and they can do hand-holding, whereby they can explain the complete logistic chain from the shipper's factory to the exim port, or from exim port or import location to wherever the consumption centers are. So that is what is required. That is one, you can say, gap which exists. The another gap which is there is most of the professionals, because the business or the sector is not for big entrepreneurs, because big entrepreneurs would need, or I would say big companies. The reason for that is the overheads of big companies is more. Second is the turnover in case of IWT sector is not as much as one would look, as a big company would look for turnovers in, you can say, hundreds of crores. So that is not the case. So therefore, like what was done in China, that's what we need to do in India to promote individual entrepreneur. Now, to promote individual entrepreneur, what is required is that you have to, the entrepreneur has to raise loan. For getting the loan, he has to, secure, you can say the bank is looking for bank security for the purpose of giving loan. But the vessel is not considered as a security. So he has to either pledge his house or pledge another property, which a new entrepreneur is reluctant to. So that means he does not have access to the funds. So what the government has to do is they have to provide access to the funds for inland water transport for new entrepreneurs. So that is the second thing that is required. The third thing which needs to be done is that when one goes to the bank also looks at, you can say, how the interest is going to be paid back. That means the entrepreneur, or in this case, the inland water transport vessel owner, needs to have a business or secure business. Now, secure business is not available in the sector because the sector is very unorganized. So what is required is that the government can fix certain amount with PSUs to be transported by inland water transportation, whether it may be, for example, an NTPC, where they are importing coal, or SAIL, or IFCO. So these companies should be encouraged that they should fix certain amount to be transported by IWT and by new entrepreneur. Now, one problem which comes is that how would one discover the price? Because in the government process, what is required is one has to discover the price. Now, the price mechanism in this case can be discovered through a tender process, and whereby you can say established players participate. And once that is done, then what is required is that certain amount over and above what has been offered in the tender should be left open to the new entrepreneur. So that means the price is discovered, quantities can be fixed by PSUs, that if any wants to transport his goods by IWT for a particular, you can say, trade, then he will be offered the so and so rate. So that is how it will be possible. So these are the few things with which one would be encouraged to come to the sector.
And what other commodities do you think that are likely to shift to the IWT mode?
See, presently, what we are moving is mainly stone chips or fly ash, sand. So these type of material is being moved presently. So what we need to actually look at is containerization, because containerization, because IWT by itself, except in few cases, is you can say one provides a complete solution. But in most of the cases, it is one of the mode to become part of the multimodal transport. And in multimodal transport, containerization is very important because multiple handling of the goods take place. So therefore, what needs to be done is that the infrastructure for container transportation or container movement has to be developed, and we have to have domestic containers. That means we should allow container manufacturing in India or promote container manufacturing in India, which will be used for domestic trade. Now, with this, what will happen is because major demand on transportation comes during the monsoon time, where there is a need for movement of fertilizer. There is also a need or movement of grain, which has been procured by FCI because their godowns are full. So with the containerization, what will happen is two things will happen. Number one is easy handling of the cargo. Number two is there is an inventory on the move. The number of containers that have got fertilizer or that have got grain are on the move. I call them as warehouses on the move. So that means it will solve the problem of storage to certain extent for FCI, because you have certain volume of cargo which is in the containers and it is on the move, and it can be stored also. So that means certain number of containers can be used as storage by FCI, and whenever there is need for movement or you can say the demand is there, so then these containers can be moved. So the commodity which I am looking at is number one is food grain, then IFCO products, then also FMCG product can move between India and Bangladesh. There is a possibility of movement of that. Then another new thing which is likely to come is the need for transportation of ethanol and methanol. Now, there is a, you can say, focus by the government on production of ethanol. By 2025, April 2025, we intend to have 20% mixture in the petrol. Now, with that amount, you can say we are looking at huge amount of ethanol in hundreds of crores of liters of ethanol is to be moved across the country, because the production is mainly in you can say farming belt. For example, in our case, it is National Waterway 1. So along the National Waterway 1, a number of production units are likely to come, but the demand is in not the same sector. So the demand would be either, you can say, in ports like Kolkata, or also the demand will be there in the northeast. Now, for these demand, it is possible that the waterway can be used for movement of ethanol. Now, for example, methanol. Methanol is being produced presently in Assam. Now, from Assam, methanol can be moved to Kolkata, and because methanol is also one of the fuel which is being which is likely to be used for marine sector. So if that happens, then from Assam by waterways, the methanol can be moved to port of Kolkata for being used on merchant vessels. So that is another commodity. Now, since the government is giving already subsidy on ethanol, so my request to the government is that for IWT sector which is interested in moving methanol, some sort of subsidy for that also should be given. So that is so these are the commodities what I look in the near future to come to the IWT sector.
Yes, sir. And how can professionals from the Merchant Navy contribute to promoting the sector?
As I said earlier, that one of the problems, rather you can say few of the problems which are there are linked with one is awareness of the inland water transportation which is there in the country, and what the government has done, and what are the possibilities, what initiatives are there. In fact, there is also a gap funding which is available. That means if a few new entrepreneur, he wants to try a multimodal using as IWT as one of the mode for a particular shipper. So what he needs to do is he needs to develop a complete end-to-end logistics solution, go to a shipper and then check what is the price he is presently paying. And if by including IWT as one of the mode, it is becoming more expensive, then the government has a provision of gap funding. So then he can approach to Inland Waterway Authority of India, whereby then the gap funding which is available can be used for trial purpose and subsequently building up on the whatever bottlenecks are there, ironing them out and getting the particular shipper to IWT. So that is one area where the professional mariner can contribute. The second is they can be entrepreneurs. As I said, that what is required is that entrepreneur with shipping interest will have, he's a professional. So the number of accidents which we have seen in last, you can say in the previous 1 month, so that has happened because of unprofessional and the operation that has happened because of the sector being, you can say, though it is regulated, but it is unorganized sector. So because of that, the professionals not being part of it has made it more risky. So with the professionals, what will be there is they will take care of the stability issues, they will take care of the lashing or storage of the cargo, they will take care of the, and they will ensure that the cargo damage does not happen. They will also take care of cases where it has happened that a vessel which is not fit for purpose, that means either an oversized vessel has been taken, or a different type of vessel has been taken which is not fit for that particular commodity, or it is not suitable for a particular waterway has been used, and then the project has been shelved. So that will not happen. So that's where the new entrepreneurs can come in. And I would also request the professional entrepreneurs to actually take up on the parallel, take up studies of higher studies related with MBA, because a lot of consultancy projects come from the government on IWT sector in India and worldwide. They look for, you can say, degree in management. So if they have a degree in management, then they will be able to participate as consultants. They will be able to understand the problems of the sector better and provide a better solution.
Yes, sir. And sir, lastly, what steps should the government take to promote professional entrepreneurs in the sector?
Basically, what they need to do is, as I said, that what is required is, number one is the, you can say, interest. It's a low interest loan to the entrepreneurs, professional entrepreneurs. So what the government can do is that a professional entrepreneur who is ready to invest in the IWT sector, if he approaches IWI or through IWI he approaches a bank, then he need not deposit the bank guarantee which is required. So that means the bank guarantee can to be taken care of by the government system. So that is one. The second is that if he is participating, he should be allowed to participate in tenders where the price has been already discovered. That means, for example, there was a tender to transport, say, 2 million metric ton of cargo of a particular commodity where the price has been already discovered. If a new entrepreneur comes for transportation, for, you can say, that OD pair, then some cargo should be given to him. That means he should have access to cargo. That this can be also made to apply for cargo which is available with IOC or major oil companies. When the major oil companies give on tender the oil cargo which is being moved, even including on the coastal trade. So then if a professional entrepreneur who is a master mariner or a marine engineer with experience on such type of vessels, like if he comes with the proposal, then they should give him preference, and he should be allowed leeway in terms of bank guarantees, bank securities, and also if excess capacity can be given to him, or an additional capacity can be created to him for transportation of goods in the either in the coastal trade or in the IWT trade. So this is one of the steps which needs to be taken. The next step which can be taken is wherever the consultancies are being offered, a professional where the MBA is being asked, so then the MBA requirement may be waived off for the professional entrepreneurs having an experience at management level of you can say 10 years plus, either ashore or on board, so that then we have consultants who have got hands-on experience on handling cargo through water mode of transport.
So that was very informative, very insightful. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
For your
Thanks,
valuable time, and thank you, sir, for your expertise. We wish you a great day ahead.
Thank you very much once again to Shipping Tribune for giving me the opportunity, and I wish well for Shipping Tribune as well as for the inland water transport sector. And I would request the professional entrepreneurs to actually invest in themselves by getting more knowledge about the sector, as well as by different schemes by the government, and going to the shippers. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Good day.
Thank you everyone for watching the video. Please hit the like button if you like the video, and subscribe to the Shipping Tribune YouTube channel and share this video. Thank you so much.